I bow to all the seekers of truth. Now, we have the knowledge with us through science and through other enterprises about the tree of life, which is outside. But when it comes to the roots of the tree, we have to understand it has to be a subtler knowledge. And you can't hear? Something wrong here? No, it's not working. Must be some mischief.
That's a good start.
This is same. This is
Something wrong with this thing.
all right. Beg pardon?
Where is it from? They're all gone dead. This was working and I took it out. Somebody on the switch?
Some mischief has been done. That's Adelaide. Always I have to face something like that in Adelaide.
Must be a special place.
Special place, I must say.
Thank you.
Ah, good.
We've got it.
Mm. Has to move a little bit down below.
I think I was switched in there.
All right. Just to be brought like that, you see, a little bit. So it's facing the. Yes, thank you. Let me put something here down. Attacking it. Yeah? All right. I bow to all the seekers of truth. We know the truth about the tree of life through our search in science and other enterprises we have taken to. But still we have to find out our roots. Unless and until we find out our roots, we cannot nourish this tree of life. This tree of life has grown beyond the supply of energy that can come from the roots. But as the tree grows, also the roots grow downward. And in that search, I've been lucky enough to find out a method to give an that subtle thing called as the spirit. The spirit is your own. Is the God Almighty reflected in your heart. He resides in your heart all the time. He watches you, but He doesn't come into action. He doesn't come into your attention. The power of God is the Holy Ghost, is the desire of God to take you into His kingdom. That is reflected in this triangular bone called as sacrum. Surprisingly, this bone was known to the Greeks. That's why they called it sacrum, meaning sacred. Greeks came quite close to the search of truth. But suddenly, I don't know what happened to them, that they also started going outward, became extroverts. I've been to Greece and I have seen. Athens itself means primordial mother, Athena. In Sanskrit language, it's called, Atha means primordial. In the same way, so many great prophets, incarnations, came on this earth to tell you that you have to become the Spirit. Even in Quran, in the very beginning of it, it is written that you have to be connected to God. Without connection to the God or His power, you cannot talk about God, you cannot understand God, and if you try to do anything, you become aggressive, dominating, and ultimately cruel. But just think of, please let me finish, madam, just a minute, have patience. There's no need to be so disturbed. This is a place we are trying about our self-realization. You too have got it within you. You too have got that spirit within you. Be patient. Better know your own properties slowly. Be patient. I'm not taking away anything from you. Just be patient. All right? No use being aggressive. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Now this is, I can't hear you. What's the use? Now let us be. You see, this is the trouble. You need really, in Marathi it is said, Tala pahije zatiche. To get to realization, you have to have people of quality and a caliber. Superficial, cheap people cannot get realization. In the olden times in India, they gave self-realization to one or two persons. At the time of Rama, there was one fellow called Nachiketa who came to who came to Janaka, the father-in-law of Rama, who was a great saint, and asked him, sir, will you give me realization? He said, ask me the whole world, that I can give you, but not realization. He had to go through severe tests. Then self-realization was granted. But when I was born, I found the world is in a complete chaos. People have no time. And there are so many useless people in this world that they are the murmuring souls as described by Christ. And they will spoil all the rest of them. And there won't be any chance for them to take to a lengthy process of self-realization that one by one I clear the chakras. So very assiduously, I studied the problems of human beings. I was amazed that modern human beings are very complicated, much more complicated than what people were. I was told that some very good Christians came in Adelaide to settle down here, but there are no more. There are no more. And such people who have their own projections of doing this and doing that, trying every sort of thing, just to have some new things, spoiled themselves completely within. It was a very difficult task to begin with. I had first only one lady, and after 2 years I could give realization to only 12 people. In London I had to work for 4 years on 7 people for 4 years to give them realization. But there's one thing about English, they are hard nuts, but once they are there, they are there. So, in the West, I never thought I would ever work because I was not sure that I'll be able to do that. But unfortunately or fortunately, my husband got elected to this post 4 times, that too unanimously, and that's how I am in England. Whatever it is, one has to realize that whatever these prophets have said, these incarnations have said, since long they have talked about the roots and not about the tree. But when such a thing starts, also there are people who are seekers of ages are born. They are seekers. They are serious seekers. There are many serious seekers in the West, I have found. Very, very serious people. They have read so much about religion, every religion. They are not conditioned people, very sensible people. And they started coming to India and fell into traps of many cults and many people. From the year 1970, in a bigger hall than this, I had announced that you cannot charge any money for God's work. You cannot live on the earnings of God's love. That time I took the name of the people who would go all round and try to entice people and take money from them and live on that. Of course, surprisingly, nobody has yet prosecuted me. That was the first beginning of Sahaja Yoga, that we started thinking in the terms of mass realization. But I had to study quite a lot, because an Indian mind is very different from the Western mind. An Indian knows that the aim of his life is self-realization. Of course, we have learned so much from you about science, about economics, about banking, insurances. But we have some knowledge about the roots. And there is no harm in learning something from India also, in case we know it is worth something. The knowledge of the Kundalini was known to Indians thousands of years back, and also there are many examples of people getting realization. But there were very, very few people. So when I started studying people, I said there is a problem on the chakras, on the centers. If you have to become a subtler being to enter into your roots, I have to see that your subtler being is completely manifesting. For that, your chakras have to be clean. These chakras can be cleaned by various ways, and we started using various methods to clean them. Of course, all these methods that we used to cleanse them where, according to the prescriptions we had from our other people, like putting the hands like this, comes from Muhammad Sahib. Because Muhammad Sahib had said, at the time of resurrection, your hands will speak. We do not deny any religion whatsoever, because according to us, all religions have truth hidden in a very subtle form. And if you have that subtle understanding, you can approach that. Now, he has said, at the time of resurrection, your hands will speak. And it's a fact, your hands can speak, no doubt. But you have to get your realization, otherwise it doesn't work out. What we call is baptism is the same as realization. It is that the centers are cleared out, then the Kundalini rises, that is the Holy Ghost rises and blesses you with your self-realization and opens out your fontanelle bone area. You will be surprised in New Zealand, a place like New Zealand. The whole hall was all full. We didn't advertise much, but I don't know why people were so sensitive. And they came and they told me, Mother, like a booze it came out of her head. But I must say, New Zealand people must be very deep people. There must be a very deep seeking in them, and they are not affected by other conditionings. So surprising it was. While in Melbourne also, I had a very good experience. I would say that it is the quality of the person that matters in Sahaja Yoga very much, because it is the becoming. Like an egg becomes a bird. Like we can say a seed becomes a plant. Now it is a becoming very important, and so we have to see if a person is willing to adapt that becoming. We have our ways and methods of telling how to do it. Nanak Sahib has said, Sahaja Samadhi Lago. He said, only through Sahaja, by spontaneous happening, by living process, you get Samadhi. He said it. He said also that there are Ida and Pingala, two nadis within us. Kabir Dasa has clearly said it. So, into any cult when you go, you will find they do not talk of any religion as such. They do not give you any ideas as to what the essence of the religion is. They do not prove it to you, and they do not show you where it exists. For example, we'll say that Christ is within us. Now, where is Christ? Who was Christ? How he came on this earth? How he was conceived? First in the heavens? What was the thing he did? We don't know. If you just read Bible, you won't know. You have to read for that Devi Mahatma. You have to understand through that Christ was the Omkara, means what you call the divine sound. He came out of that. And that's why he could walk on the water. There are so many things written about Christ in other books, and so many great things written in those books that we do not want to go into them, and how are we going to understand him? But first of all, realization is very important to expand your attention with an enlightened way. I was happy to know that people in Adelaide are traditional. All good traditions are to be accepted. They are not to be given up. They are family people, that's all also another good thing that they are family people. But the problem is that they are placed in such a chaotic condition that they cannot decide what is right and what is wrong. Now, these traditions which are good should be taken, and on these traditions we should build up something that is wider and greater. As soon as you get realization, you get your new awareness called collective consciousness, about which Jung has written very clearly. You have to become collectively conscious. But those who are superficial people don't get it. Those people who have problems on this center do not get it. They do not feel it. Those people who are not serious minded don't get it. If they don't get it, then they start blaming others than blaming themselves. There are so many who have got realization and so many are doing well. This is what is needed today. Unless and until you get your transformation, unless and until you become your spirit, unless and until you get collective consciousness, the problems of this world cannot be solved. That's a fact. But everybody doesn't get it. Everybody cannot get it. And we cannot guarantee that. Those who can get it have to be the people who should seriously understand the importance of self-realization. For example, in India, no problem. We have, say, the President of the World High Court, Hague. He got his realization just like this, in 2 minutes. And he was so amazed at it. He asked his wife all the way, we knew them very well otherwise also, to fly out from Udaipur to see me and to get her realization. To them it is an important thing, very important thing. The most important thing is to become the spirit. Because he is now the High Court judge, Hague High Court, the highest position that he could reach. It does not matter. It's nothing great. If he has not got his self-realization, what's the use of living in this world? But the attention of the people has to move that side, and it has moved in the West quite a lot. There are definitely lots of seekers in the West. But the problem of the West, I must tell you, is something very different. The problem of the West is like this, that within us is there are two systems which work autonomous nervous system. One is the left, another is the right. The left one is called as the Ida Nadi, or you call the moon channel, or the one which looks after. I have been lecturing every night for hours. The moon channel. Now the moon channel is the one that works out our desires. We get our desires through this left side moon channel. And the right side one, if you see it clearly, starts little from the second center, is the one we call it as, no use telling English, there is no English name, so it is called as Pingala. Now this is the channel that works out our action. First one gives us desire and the second one gives us action. Now a person who goes to extreme on any one of them tries to go away from the center. For example, now we have in the West lots of ideas, say, about action. Now this is the right side, this is the left side. Now we have the right and left and the center in between. All right? Now if you are too much in the action on the right side, go into imbalance, it breaks the connection with the main. If it breaks the connection with the main, then what happens? You start working on your own, this side. The connection, the control goes away. Once the control of the central nervous system is gone, you can become malignant, you can develop any diseases of that kind which are psychosomatic. Also with the physical exertions and all that, you can develop some other diseases which are more physical. Now going to extremes, for example, for ladies, I have always told, who are married ladies, I have always told about them, that they really work very hard in the West, in the sense their standards are so high, everything should be spick and span, and all the time cleaning, they have no time to rest. They have no time to rest at all. They must take out some time to rest and look after themselves as well. They should involve the whole family in the work and see that there is a little balance. It should not be that only the woman should go on working all the time for the household. Of course, homemaking is her love and her liking, but that doesn't mean that she should completely sort of get ruined with that. She has to use a balance. She should use some balances which are useful to keep her up, her self in the center. Now, as I was telling you, now if you go to any extremes, you break your connection with the whole. And as you break your connection with the whole, all these centers which are supplying horizontally to our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual being get cut or get exhausted or augmented, as they call it in medical terminology. So, the central part is the parasympathetic nervous system, which doctors have not reached. Now, through this Kundalini, which is there, which is 3.5 coiled, when it rises, it pierces through 6 centers, pierces through your fontanelle bone area, and when it pierces through your fontanelle area, you get your self-realization. As simple as that. This is your mother, individual mother, because she gives you birth, a second birth. And she doesn't trouble you, she doesn't give you any problems, she takes up all problems upon herself. She tries, but I have seen in some people, the Kundalini is very badly hurt, wounded, just all the time like a bleeding serpent, you can say. It's just moving up and down helplessly, trying to rise. It rises and falls down in some people. And it is such a sad thing that it works out in days together when the person cooperates to keep the Kundalini up there. But most of the people get it, and with little practice, about a year or so, at the most, they become masters. But within 1 month, they know everything about Sahaja Yoga and they know how to do it. In fact, you become your own master. You don't have to have any guru, you don't have to have any master. For this, you don't have to pay a single pi. You don't have to do anything of the kind, it just works out automatically, and you can give realizations to others once you get it, when you become the master. But that is a quality which one has to achieve. If you achieve that quality, then only you can do it, otherwise you cannot do it. By talking about spirit, by talking about God, you do not achieve it. It is a living process of evolution. As we have become human beings, we become that higher being. This is the seeking today, and that's what people are seeking. They are not seeking something which has been said or done, but they want that beyond this what? And beyond this is the spirit. But as I told you, the people who are not of that quality do not get it. But for that, you cannot blame anyone, you cannot blame yourself, and you should not feel guilty about it either. But you must know that everybody, if he tries, can achieve it. Some people might get it today, some people might get it tomorrow. Doesn't matter. If you work it out, it is very easy to get your self-realization in modern times. Now, as in our country, we had search in the subtler side of our life towards the roots. We have definitely found out so many things, so many poets, so many saints have written. Say, in the 16th century, there was a great poet called Tukarama. He has described it very clearly. And then in the 6th century, we had Adi Shankaracharya who has described it. But later on, I would say it was Guru Nanaka and Kabira who have described Kundalini in their scriptures. The main point is that in India also people got diverted. They were told that you should not read this, the 6th chapter of the Ganeshwara, because it talked about Kundalini, because they did not want to do it, they did not know it, they had no authority, like a priest class they were. In the same way, in every religion, I think, nobody tried to find out how to get self-realization. That was the problem, and because of that, people have suffered. There have been many great people who have been self-realized, Even we can say like Michelangelo was a realized soul. Now, if I say that, you can say, how can you say, Mother? You can ask me a question. Mother, how can you say that Michelangelo was or Mozart was? He was. Because when you put your attention to him and put hands like this, you start getting cool vibrations in your hands. That's how you can find out who was a realized soul, who was not a realized soul. So the truth you know through your hands, not through your rationality, through your understanding, but you know what is right and what is wrong through your hands. Now these are 5 centers as shown there clearly. You can see on the hands. Here, hand is not shown, I think, in this one. All right. These are the 5 centers. This is the 6th and this is the 7th. This on the left hand side is the emotional side, and right hand side is the physical and the intelligence. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. These are the 7 centers. Now if somebody has a problem on any center, you start feeling either a numbness or a coolness or a kind of a burning. Sometimes even a little blister sort of thing comes in. Then you should know that person has a problem of this center. Now if you know the decoding of this finger, what does it mean and how this is caused, you can correct it. If you can correct it, that person feels all right, you feel all right, and you have all the powers to cure that person, cure yourself, and be one with the divine force. It is the all-pervading power of God everywhere, they call it. But we have never felt it. We have never felt the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Now this is the first time we feel the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. First time we feel. We become sensitive to it and we start feeling it. But those people who are conditioned, who are running after other things, who are members of this and members of that and members, all their lives they finish as members of this and members of that. They do not get anything out of it and they do not know what is their meaning. First time you discover your meaning when you become the Spirit. Unless and until you become the Spirit, you will not know your meaning. As I told today to the radio lady, that it's like an instrument. Unless and until it is connected to the mains, it is useless. In the same way, unless and until we are connected to the mains, we are no good. We are not happy. We are not satisfied. Now this Trikonakara, what we call as the sacrum bone, has that power, which is the pure desire within us. The pure desire. The pure desire is only one. The rest of the desires are impure. The pure desire is to rise and get to the divine power. Once you get that, it's like a light coming into a lamp. Then what does the lamp do? Is to give realization to others. It starts giving lots of realization to others and starts giving all the... They are only interested in the quarrel part of it. This is the best thing. I mean, just imagine. Otherwise they would not come. It's such an important thing. Such an important thing. But they are only interested in the quarrel. If somebody they are going to quarrel, they'll all line up. It's not a very good thing, you know. They must understand the importance of the time. It's the most important time now. This is the judgment time. Here you are going to get the power to judge yourself and judge others. And if you do not develop that within you, you are lost. So it is important for all of you to feel your spirit. Now I can go on talking like this for a long time, but I would like you to get your realization. And by God's grace, I am sure it will work out. Now those who want to have their realization should stay. Those who do not want, please go away. You cannot force on anyone. You have to ask for it. I cannot force on anyone. You see, it's something one should understand. It's a living process. You become absolutely normal, first of all. Normalcy means that you do not feel guilty about anything. You be pleasant to yourself. You should be pleasantly placed towards yourself. You should be in a happy mood and should not think that you have done this mistake, that mistake, and committed this crime, that crime. It is you who is going to judge yourself. It's not me, it's you who is going to judge. Afterwards, when you have got realization. It's like this. If supposing I have a snake in my hand, all right, and somebody tells me there's a snake in your hand, and there's darkness, in my ego I might say, no, I don't believe. I'm going to hold on to it. But then somebody says that put on the light. And the lights are on, you see the snake, you just drop it. It's like that. So the knowledge is the truth, and truth is the knowledge, and everything is the love of God and compassion. There is no place for hatred and anger in Sahaja Yoga. Now I think we have had too much of question and answering. Let us have our realization. Some people can come forward, would be a better idea. You can move forward if some people want to come forward. No. Here. Now be peaceful with yourself. First of all, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That's very important. And be confident that you are all capable of getting realization. Do not blame yourself for anything. Whatever you have done is forgiven. Absolutely. So do not blame yourself. You have to have a complete faith in yourself. That's very important. All right. No. As I said, the left hand is a desire. So you please put your left hand on your lap. It would be nice if you can take out our shoes also to get the help from the Mother Earth, because she sucks in most of our problems very easily. It takes only 5 to 7 minutes, but only thing is one should intensely ask for it and want it. Please put your left hand towards me. Now, with the right hand, we do the action. Now, I'll tell you how you will have to raise your own Kundalini. All right? You will know how to raise your own Kundalini. And that's how you can practice at home also. Now, this left hand is towards me. That is that you want your realization. Now, right hand is first put on the heart, where resides the spirit. Now, this right hand is taken down again on the center here, which is the center, as we call it, the Swadhisthana, which is the center which does all the, this is on the upper part of it, there is the center of the principle of mastery or guidance. Below that, on the stomach, on the lower side of the abdomen, you have, in the lower side of the abdomen on the left hand side, you have a center which is very, very important, which is of Swadhisthana, which works out all the processes of divine love or all the techniques of divine love. So, then you go back again on the upper part of your stomach, on the left hand side again. The whole thing is working on left hand side. Then put your right hand on the heart. Then please put your right hand in the neck, on the neck, and turn your head like this, between the corner of the neck and the shoulder. Now, take your right hand on top of your head and press it hard on both the sides. Now, take your hand on the back side and put your head on the back side and press it hard on the back side. Now, the same hand now has to go on top of your head and has to be stretched like this on top of your head and press it hard, the scalp, 7 times. That's all you have to do. Now you have to close your eyes. So here we go. Start our process of Kundalini awakening. But to begin with, I have to tell you again that you have to be in a very pleasant mood and you have to forgive yourself and you are not to feel guilty at all. That's the first condition. For anything, you have taken drugs, all right, finished. If you are alcoholic, finished, doesn't matter. Anything you have done, finished, that's past. At this time, it does not matter. At this time, it does not matter. Just forgive yourself. Now close your eyes, put both the legs parallel to each other. Now, take the right hand to your heart. On the heart, put this hand properly, and here resides the spirit. So please ask me a question in your heart. Very intensely, very important question. You can call me Shri Mataji or you can call me Mother. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times. Now, take this hand in the upper part of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it. This is the center of your mastery. So the second question comes in. As you are the spirit, you are your master too. Now ask me again 3 times with full confidence, Mother, am I my own master? Now, take down your right hand in the lower part of your abdomen on the left hand side. Here you have to ask 6 times because this center has got 6 petals. Here you have to ask because I cannot force on you. So please ask me, Mother, may I have the pure knowledge? This is the knowledge of the technique. Mother, may I have the pure knowledge? Just press it hard. Six times. With this, the Kundalini starts moving upward now. Now, at this time, you have to cooperate with your Kundalini. Sit straight, put your both the legs apart from each other. Now be careful. Take your right hand on the upper part of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard. Now, here with full confidence you have to say, Mother, I am my own master. Say it with full confidence. Please say it. Mother, I am my own master. Now, raise your right hand. This is to be said 10 times. Press it hard. Say it 10 times first. Now, raise your right hand to your heart. Here again, With full confidence, you have to say 12 times the most important thing and the only truth, that is, Mother, I am the Spirit. Please say it 10 times with all confidence in yourself. Mother, I am the Spirit. Please keep your eyes shut. Don't keep them open. Just keep them closed. Mother, I am the Spirit. Till I tell you, keep your eyes shut. Mother, I am the Spirit. Now, raise your, this you have to say 12 times properly. Now, raise your right hand on to your neck in the corner that is formed by your neck and your shoulder, and turn your face towards the right. Turn your head towards the right. Press it hard. Here is the center, which is always blocked when we feel guilty. God is the ocean of love and grace, but He, above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So please say 16 times here, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say 16 times, and if you still feel, you can say it 108 times to punish yourself. "16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all," with full confidence. Now, take your hand on your forehead across and press it hard. Now, here you have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now, some of you all the time say that it's very difficult, Mother, to forgive. But whether you forgive or do not forgive, it's a myth. You do not do anything in both the cases. But when you say, I forgive, you do not play into wrong hands. So just say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Put back your hand. You have to say it from your heart. Now put back your hand on the back side of your head and allow your head to rest on it. Here, just for your satisfaction, you can say, O Divine, if I have done any mistakes, please forgive me. Just for your satisfaction. Don't start counting your mistakes, please. Push back your head from your heart. How many times is not the point. Push back your head well. Keep your eyes shut. Terrible heat. Now, take your hand on top of your head. Open it out fully. Press only your palm in the center on the fontanelle bone area. That is the soft bone which you had in your childhood. Press it hard. Press the scalp and make it move 7 times. Please keep your eye shut. Press it hard. Now take down your hand. Open your eyes slowly. Put your right hand towards me. Like this. Like this. Right hand. Like this. Right hand. Like this. And with the left hand, you see on top of your head. You can bend your head a little and see for yourself if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Bend it. Bend your head. Bend. And it could be little, some people get it here. Now, change the hand. Left hand towards me, with the right hand you see. Now, bend your head and see for yourself. Again change once more. Right hand towards me and see with the left hand. Now, raise your hand up in the air and just ask a question in your heart. Is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Is this the Brahma Chaitanya? Is this the love of God that we are feeling as cool breeze? Ask any question 3 times in your heart. Put your head up towards sky. Now, take down your hands. Just see for yourself. Watch me without thinking. You can do it. You were supporting a wrong person. I knew this would. Doesn't matter, get it later. So divine is very, judges you very much. All right, Tanda. School is coming in your hands. Great. Now, those who are getting cool in their hands or on top of their heads, please raise both the hands. Those who are getting, both the hands. Those who are getting cool breeze, both the hands. Those who are getting cool breeze on their head or in their hands, please raise both the hands. Good. Put it up, don't doubt. If you are feeling it, doesn't matter. See how many have got it. See how many have got it. All right, put them down. Despite all the trouble. सरदार जी आपको नहीं हुआ क्या? हाँ? अरे भाई पार उतर गए संत जनारे, क्या मतलब आपको क्यों नहीं हुआ? चलो हाथ करो मेरी तरफ. हुआ नहीं? आया नहीं ठंडक हाथ सर में? आ गई ना? देव गॉट इट. अरे सरदार जी लोगों का ही तो काम कर रहे हैं, नानक साहब का ही तो काम कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने तो कहा है ना बात? They know this very well. May God bless you. Now what is to be done, how to maintain it, and how to keep it up. And how to master it is the point. You must master it. Some people haven't felt it, I know. Some people haven't felt. Doesn't matter. You were opening your eyes, closing your eyes, you see. That's not the way. Little intensely you should do. All right? Doesn't matter. Those who haven't got it should not worry. Those who have got it are very good. They should, all of them, can come to a program. They are having what they call a workshop, where individually they'll attend to you. You don't have to pay any money whatsoever. That's a fact. You don't have to pay any money whatsoever. And there could be one or two persons, as Christ has said, beware of the murmuring souls. But here people are over-conscious of them, I think. So, it has done good to so many and will do good to so many of you. What it does to you, first of all, that you feel extremely peaceful. Extremely peaceful. And then you develop this thoughtless awareness. You didn't feel, sir? You didn't feel? You? No? Was surprising. I thought you will get it, because you are so much there. What about you? You too didn't feel? You did feel it. He's absolutely gone into that. It's good. It's very enjoyable. You sleep very well tonight, and then you come and see for yourself what powers you have, what glory you have, what peace you have. We talk of peace, 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 peace. It's not outside. Peace has to be within. When the people will have peace within, then they will be peaceful. And there can be, some people who take time. So it doesn't matter, little time. But one should work it out assiduously and with humility. One should not aggress for that. By aggressing you don't get it, isn't it? It has to work out, is the point. There might be something wrong with you, or which can be corrected very easily. So may God bless you. Despite the whole thing, I'm thankful that you all came and you got your realization, and how I hope next time we won't have this problem in Adelaide.